AM 970 WSTX.
I want to first of all start off by saying that the Women's Coalition is a nonprofit organization here in St. Croix for everyone. Don't be deterred, fooled, or misled by the name, because their mission is a mission for everyone. And rather than have me speak to it, I'd like you to state the basic mission of the Women's Coalition.
The Women's Coalition is a victim advocacy agency, and victims have no gender, they have no race, they have no social status, they have no economic status, they have no creed. It was named the Women's Coalition because when we started 37 years ago, the majority of the victims that were coming forward were women. And I have to say that now, because especially since we started doing Silent Speaks, there's a lot of male victims that are coming like, that happened to me when I was small. I didn't realize that what it was. It explains why my relationships don't work. So we're starting to get a lot more people understand that a victim advocacy agency is about the victim. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your race, economic or educational status. There's a lot of people who feel bad about coming forward because their first thing is, I should be smarter than this. Nobody volunteers to be a victim. You can't choose whether or not you're going to be a victim. You can do as many things as you can try to avoid becoming a victim, but a perpetrator will always be a perpetrator.
That's right.
And that's all it is. If we can stop the perpetrators from being perpetrators, we won't have any more victims. Yep. My purpose and my goal is to work myself out of a job, because then our society would be great. But right now, it doesn't seem like that's happening.
Okay, Ms. Guns, question. I'm a male. Now, if I have a wife/girlfriend at home, and she abusing me, right? She beating the hell out of me every minute. So you're telling me I can come and report it to you guys?
Yeah, and we're a victim advocacy agency, and we have a lot of males that come and say, my girlfriend hits me, I don't want to hit her back because people are going to think that I'm soft and the police are not going to take me seriously because I'm a male. But a lot of men come to our office about that, because it's as hard for a man to walk away from an abusive relationship as it is for a woman. But we do victim advocacy. It doesn't make a difference who the victim is.
All right. Well, you know,
It's good to know.
So, Gerard, you touch on something there, because, first of all, us men have this problem with macho and stigma and all these things that tell us that, you know, being a real man, all this other stuff that can cause men to put up with stuff that they shouldn't be putting up with. Okay? And then, you know, the law is there, like you say, if you lose your cool and turn around and retaliate, then all of a sudden, because the way the circumstances are framed, you become the bad person. And, you know, but that's for the people to investigate and find out what's really at the, it does all come out in the wash. And training for the folks anywhere from human services to the police department, or training is such an important part, because we see the same thing also now with mental health, and police come into the scene, they need training, so it's all part of it. So, but we're gonna put a little curveball on this, in the same neighborhood, in the same subject, but now we're talking about folks who are, how shall I say, even more vulnerable, even more capable of having their voice stolen. And we're talking about, in this particular case, children. Okay? Talking about children. And we're talking about child sexual abuse. Okay? So, folks, we have some serious conversation here. We're going to keep it PG-13, but still, at the same time, it's something that we want you to pay particular attention to. So you mentioned Silent Speaks. What is Silent Speaks?
Silent Speaks is a radio drama that we have. We were given a grant by Reliance, which is funded by the NFL, to stop sexual violence in one generation. And we were able to pick a medium that we wanted to be able to tell the story, to be able to bring the awareness so that other people can hear it and they can reach out. which is exactly what's happening, so it worked. We chose a radio drama because radio is a medium that's around when everybody else fails. You know what I mean? During the hurricane, we don't watch TV, we listen to the radio. But not only that, it causes us to have to create the pictures in our own mind. And in creating the pictures in our own mind, we have to then attach our experiences to it. And so because of that, we had two amazing people, English teachers at Complex, Saida Carter and Regina Keels, write the story. So they wrote these 26 episodes, because it runs for 26 weeks, 6 months. And they came into the office, sat down with those of us that are there, got information from their students, from other people. They started to do research about what child sexual assault is. And in doing that, they created Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed, which is the whole title. And so it's a radio drama about 3 individuals, 3 children, and 2 adults. And we don't really look at it that way, but it's about 3 children and 2 adults. And you hear how all of that comes together in the story.
Okay.
So there's a 7-year-old boy, a 16-year-old girl, and a 15-year-old girl. The talk show host also is one. And at the end of the series, you'll figure out who the male is in the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Question. NFL. The acronym. You know,
National Football League.
Okay. Because that's what I was thinking when you said that.
Yes.
And then I was like, but how does it tie in with this whole thing?
Yeah. Well, they've had, I guess, because over the years, they've had quite a series of incidents that have happened. And so as a way to outreach, to do some healing, and a lot of their, it seems like a lot of their players also has had this experience or are experiencing and becoming perpetrators of the same. They just wanted to end it. So they put their money where their mouth was, and they started funding other agencies who actually do the work to be able to do the work in their communities. So it's a grant that goes across, and I think this is the 3rd cycle, but there's a lot of people, like 50 different agencies that got money for it. We just happened to be the first one in the Virgin Islands, which was amazing for us.
That's great.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first episode as a way of priming people's minds about Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed.
The Women's Coalition of St. Croix presents Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed, a radio drama about child sexual abuse. It contains subject matter that may be triggering for survivors. Discretion is advised.
I am not your traditional narrator. I come not only to share this story, but to attack and destroy a serious problem that our community does not talk about. Something we do not talk about in the Caribbean, that we are terrified to face head on. I'm not your traditional narrator. I have an axe to grind, a score to settle, a vendetta. I course through our streets and homes, observing child sexual molestation. I grow great under the weight of taboos, victimization, fears, pain. I normalize them, blunt them. I accept them, so you accept them. I am crippling silence. Well now, silence speaks.
Good morning. It's Dr. Dennis in the morning, and the phone lines are open. We're talking about child sexual abuse in the Virgin Islands.
Dr. Dennis, you could hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear.
Who you think you is to bring up this stuff, my son?
I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm a Virgin Islander just like you, and I'm also a survivor.
Yeah, man, but this ain't good talk, man.
Well, it is happening. According to the Society for the Positive Care of Children, 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before they turn 18 years old. And we are no strangers here in the Virgin Islands to this type of abuse.
What? That much?
And the majority of cases go unreported. People don't want to talk. People shut up the victims. According to Darkness to Light's website, children are sexually victimized at a higher rate than adults.
What? You know why it would do to somebody who would taught a child?
Well, let's not go there.
You sound like you was from stateside, though.
I'm back home because I know what I went through. I love my home. I stayed away, stayed quiet for 15 years. But it's time I do something.
Yeah, you're right. We can't let this ish go on. You all right. I'm going to listen every week. Just hold on that attitude, my son.
This is just the beginning. Over the next 26 weeks, secrets will be revealed as I, Silence, turn up the secrets hidden on this island.
Thank you for listening to Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
All right, that was my baptism by fire into Silence Speaks. And folks, you see, I was kind of happy when I heard the conversation, and I mean, I'm in my mind, I could just see our talk show, and I could see a lot of people uncomfortable because this is one of those things that, you know,
We don't really want to talk about.
they don't want to talk about. You know, whisper it, melee it, but to come right out and say what it is. Okay, well, 26 weeks. 26 weeks. Well, and, you know, we're our own radio station, WSTX here and everything else, and we big ourselves up and so forth and so on. But we don't mind complimenting the fact that this program goes on another radio station also, because the more ears we reach, the better on this subject, because it's an area that we need a lot of healing. But on WSTX, we're doing the 26 weeks, but a kind of a different way. We're doing it the Netflix way.
Binge.
Okay? We're doing it the Netflix way.
Binge watching.
Yes. So, as we were talking earlier about men and then young men, and one of the challenges that we have in our community is stereotypes. Okay? Stereotypes.
Yeah.
And it's just like when we deal with the issue of rape, you know, and I always talk about what we teach the girls not to do and not to do and not to do. And the question is, but what are you teaching your boys? Because, you know, traditionally, historically, stereotypically, rape is a male-female thing. Although we know that the stereotype is long been broken. Mm-hmm. But within the context of the stereotype, the fact of the matter is, you can't teach one side. That's like tying down one hand and growing up your whole life only using the other hand. One day, and when you untie the hand, it just they limp. It don't know what to do. Okay.
Well, Doug, me being a parent, raising my young kids, I taught them about, you know, that good touch, bad touch. You know, I taught them about that. You know, as a parent. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because I saw the need to have this discussion with my young kids. But apparently some parents don't see the need to do the same.
Okay.
And they don't have the tools either. You know, and I commend you as a parent, but a lot of parents don't have the tools to do it. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. Because it's uncomfortable. I mean, a lot of us grew up and our parents would never talk to us about sex.
Son?
Well,
they're not talking to us about sex. It ain't good touch, bad touch is if he watch you pregnant and don't come home with no child.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So having the conversation is always been difficult.
Yeah.
And so, you know, being able to have the conversation is kind of why we're doing this. We need people to be able to have the conversation. And in doing it, one lady that called, she said, I'm so glad y'all are doing this because after the episodes are finished, and she makes her children listen to all the episodes, right? Mm-hmm. And then she says, I need to talk to you about this. Do you have anything to tell me? Because we now become the way that she gets to do it because she's still not comfortable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's especially if it's something that you know that has happened in your family. Mm-hmm. And it's going to start to split up the family and divide the family and ostracize some people. It becomes hard to have the conversation because for a lot of people, that's been the norm. Nobody ever said anything.
Well, I grew up with, Caribbean parents, Long Island parents. And I decided that I wasn't going to raise my children the same way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I wanted them to be able to come to me.
Well, Jared, I made the same decision too, but I have to confess that I really had need somebody to hold my hand.
Having the conversation.
Well, you know,
and soothe me so that I could get over my fear. I have to call it that, because my discomfort.
I just went on my knees and prayed and said, ask God to help me guide me through.
Well, that's all well and good and fine, Jared. To each their own. I just making my little confession.
Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't that easy for me because one is, I have girls and boys. So it wasn't that easy, But, we made it through and they understand, hey, something go wrong, come to daddy. They don't know that already.
Well, that's my basic policy in everything, and especially with language, because there's all this words out there, and I tell him, I say, anything you don't know the meaning of, you want to know, come to me and ask me.
Right.
I don't care how bad it is. Okay, you're not going to get in trouble by coming and tell me, because I'm going to tell you what it means, and I will break it down to you, and so forth and so on, okay? And, and I had an incident recently where a young girl called another young girl a name just out of slang. And when I explained to her what the word meant, she was so remorseful on the spot, okay? She felt so bad. But this is what happens with slang and songs, and they hear these things, and they want to come out their mouth because it just sounds like it's a cool thing to say. Anyhow, we have a young man here by the name of Beto, okay? And Beto is a sweet child, okay? Mommy loves her son. You're gonna see she loves her son, okay? But Beto, like all our children, when they leave our house, they go outside or whatever, there's so many things out there, and you just you have to have a relationship with your children so that it comes back, because part of the problem sometimes is them getting over their fear or whatever to come back to you. So let's listen to some silent speaks here where we talk about this gentleman, Beto, and some of his experiences.
The Women's Coalition of St. Croix presents Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed, a radio drama about child sexual abuse. It contains subject matter that may be triggering for survivors. Discretion is advised.
Abuse can happen in any family, in any socioeconomic, racial, or cultural background. According to research, the risks for child sexual abuse increases in single-family homes and homes with step-parents. 43% of perpetrators are juvenile offenders. Today we meet Milagros Rodriguez and her 7-year-old son.
Listen, Beto. Beto!
Yes, Mommy, I'm coming.
Stay close to the house. Your abuela is in there. Don't leave the yard, you hear? I have to go to work now. This new job wants me there on time. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They want a lot. Abuela cooks some arroz con pollo y habichuelas, and there's plátanos too. Okay? Bye, baby. Listen to me, you hear? Don't leave this yard for nobody. Love you. Bye.
Bye, Mommy.
I gonna make you flan if you be good.
Yay, love you, Mommy.
Hey, Beto, why you so quiet? I bet you want somebody to talk to. What you doing, little dude?
Playing with Michael Jackson.
You know your chicken, Michael Jackson?
That chicken punky then.
He's a bad chicken, that's why.
Beto, we have chicken too. You want fighty?
I don't know.
You got proof Michael Jackson hard.
I don't know. Mommy tell me to stay in the yard.
Your mother and my mother grew up together. She gonna be alright. Come over here with Michael Jackson. We gonna show you how to deal with he.
Okay, let me get him.
Beto is just 7 years old. He lives with his mother and grandmother. Beto's father works constantly to support his son, so he rarely sees Beto. They all believe they're doing the best for him. And they are. None of these people are to blame for what will happen to Beto, but none of them will be the same. Child sexual abuse affects not just the child, but the whole family, the whole community. How careful do you think you're being with your child?
That last ending words, how careful do you think you're being with your child? That resonated in my ear the first time that I heard it, okay? And I say that because, one, you have to be vigilant, and at the same time, there are people who are forever beating up themselves because they didn't see something coming, and it's one of those things. You have to really, really pay attention because the powers that be out there are just so insidious and slick and whatever, so forth and so on. So anyhow, I just wanted to stick that in for a quick second, and we're going to continue on here because the problem continues.
Silence speaks, secrets revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
Now, look at this. This is called grooming. See how he waits until others leave the scene? See how he draws little Beto in? See how the perpetrator normalizes an inappropriate situation? This perpetrator is 17. It's 3:45 in the afternoon, an optimal time for an offense.
I busting off.
Yeah, I going to. My woman bugging me. She wanna go movies. But I don't like them Babylon thing. If it ain't about real black people, I wanna see all of Hollywood. This is she on the phone. Yeah, I gonna be there.
Bye.
Hey, Beto, you wanna see something?
What?
Come here, I gonna show you. But you gotta come over here. It's behind the house.
Rakas, tell me you have a video about chicken fighting. You gonna let me see it?
I got something better.
Let me see, Juanito.
Juanito knows Beto trusts him. He knows the little boy thinks of him as a brother.
Look at this woman on my phone. She pretty, eh? Watch them big titty.
I know.
You wanna be a big man or what? You can't be scared of a woman.
If my mother find out.
Well, don't tell her then. She ain't gonna understand. This man business. Hey, look at next one here. She's sweet, my son, right?
Yeah. I think my mommy come.
Remember what I said. I won't let you see my chicken no more.
The child becomes a conspirator in the loss of his own innocence.
Hi, mommy.
Didn't I tell you to stay with your grandmother?
That was last week. You didn't tell me this week.
Ay, Dios mío, don't be stupid. Get in the house now. You have to show me your homework.
Hi, Miss Rodriguez.
You okay? How's your mother?
She good. I gone. I gonna tell her you asked for she. I gonna help you with a yard tomorrow.
Okay. You see it, eh? It need help. God bless you. Tenga buen día.
Hey, Beto, I gonna bring you some bubblegum tomorrow.
What will happen to them? Such a happy little family. Here I must take pause. I see Leah and Caridad going about their lives. They pretend everything is okay. Leah has opened up to her therapist. Caridad grows disruptive at home and school. And Beto, well, let's see.
Beto! Beto, my love, where are you?
Aquí, mommy.
What? I thought you were outside. I can't keep you in the house. Now I can't get you outside. What is wrong, Beto?
Nothing. I just don't want to play.
But what about Michael Jackson?
I don't care. He's just a stupid chicken.
I don't know what is wrong with you. I made flan. Come eat some. And say something funny to make me laugh. You and your sister are what I love more than the sun, and the moon, and the stars. You know that, right? I'd do anything for you, Norberto.
I know. I don't want any flan.
Come here.
Ouch!
What? I barely touch you, Beto. What is wrong with you?
My belly hurts. Leave me alone.
You're a little boy, and I am your mother. Let me see. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Beto, who did this to you? Oh, my God, my boy.
I can't say anything. He'll kill you. He will kill you. I don't want you to die, Mommy.
What is the trouble in here? All this noise. Madre de Dios, en nombre del Padre y el Hijo y del Espíritu Santo.
No, Beto, I will kill him and your father will kill him again. Beto, baby.
I get his shoes. You have to take him to the doctor. Rápido.
The majority of child sexual abuse cases have no physical evidence. It is usually a touch, saying obscene things, showing inappropriate pictures, taking pictures of children, and other contact that cannot be detected. In some cases, the trauma is clear and painful. All of these children will grow to adulthood and still suffer in varying degrees from their experiences.
Silence speaks, secrets revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
We've seen the transition of this young man from a happy young man to something that tells us something has changed, something is very, very different. So, anyhow. Gerard, your thoughts?
Hey.
Hi, hi,
That would start it.
That would start it.
All I'm thinking about is what I would I do to whoever troubled my child.
That's
I mean,
okay.
it's
That's the natural male response. I'm gonna be stereotypic now. Okay, that's a natural male response because me personal, it don't even matter if it ain't my child. It's just a natural response because when you think of somebody doing things like this to your child, you know.
I mean, I start thinking all kind of bad things to do to that person. You know
okay, okay. I'm gonna have to send you to therapy. I'm gonna send you to therapy, and you're laughing, but I'm serious because it's not just a child alone that's traumatized.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah. The parents are forever changed from that point forward.
I mean, it's a sad thing to see that an adult or somebody who's going to be an adult doing something like that to, taking the innocence of a young child. I can't even find the words for it. I mean,
and were you involved in any of the voices here? Were you one of the voices?
Not in any of the episodes, that you've heard so far.
That I've heard so far. Okay.
Yeah, but I was on the production team though, so I was in the studio. We were putting it together.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The reason why I ask you is because it seems to me like every time I listen to it is moving, to say the least. And I'm trying to think of how the experience of the people who had to.
And they all volunteered. Mm-hmm. Everybody that was a voice in this production volunteered their time to do it. It affected all of them. A lot of them, after they'd read the script or even after they'd read their part, is like, I never really thought about it like this. But they did. We had some amazing people that came in and volunteered their time. They went through it, talked about the fact that they knew somebody, they'd experienced it, they'd been around it, it happened in their family, and they just, because of the seriousness of the situation and because it had touched home on some level, everybody put their all into it, and hence we ended up with a really, really great production that you can feel everybody's emotion in it. I mean, when they talk, everybody's emotion is to the surface because that's how in-depth it got. We had conversations about it. We were like, okay, if you need to talk about it, we're here. Because you start to listen to, when you get into some of the stories and you hear how things go and you hear the anger or you hear the fear in the voices of the characters, it starts to become very, very real. Yep. And then you need to debrief, as they call it. We need to process through the situation. And so it's been amazing. You
use the word anger because that's probably one of the common denominators that come out to everyone who just hears this. And this is a radio drama, much less if you're dealing with the real thing.
The real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and hurt is the core. Hurt is the basis of anger, which many people don't realize that. But I have to be hurt in order for me to get angry. You know what I mean? And so the hurt comes to the surface. And one of the few things that we can actually be made tangible in terms of emotion is anger, because the venue for that is lashing out, whether it be in words or in hands or in all the stuff that's been happening over the past week. That's what's ended up happening. It's one of the very few emotions that has a tangible end. And unfortunately, the tangible end can come to really bad. I know Jared was talking about how he was thinking about all the things that he would like to do. And that's one of the things that we're really concerned about. Because even though you want to protect and you want to be there, most of those things would land you in jail, which means that you leave your son for somebody else or something else to do, right, to them. And so we're really, really cautious about that. Because we know that if I'm hurt because I think that I failed in protecting my child, I'm going to want to retaliate. But then, is it my pride or is it my child? You know what I mean? And that's where the balance comes in. That's where the question becomes, and it's to get to that mindset. And it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta switch from anger to that healing process.
Yes.
To help the child heal.
Yes. And yourself. Yes.
And yourself. But just thinking about it, the first thing that comes to your head is like,
Which,
you know?
Yeah, which bush, which mountain.
Yeah, where to bury this guy.
Yes,
you know?
in how many pieces, yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
You know, but I think it's human nature.
It is.
You know, and I must say this on the brighter side, to thank you guys for the description. You know, because me listening to...
Who is me?
Me, Gerard.
Yeah, but what make you special? I didn't have to. What make you special?
You could see.
I could see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you. You there right there?
I can't see you, but I hear you over there.
Oh, okay.
See, I am visually impaired. I am blind, right? In case you didn't notice. So, when I got the link and I was, you know, I did my homework, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, listening to the thing, I was like, you know, this is very descriptive, and you know, it's good for somebody who's visually impaired to really follow. You know, so I was like, wow. I said the people that made this thing.
You are speaking to the mic.
You know, the people that you know did the production, they really bring it home. You know, like with the descriptions and everything. So I must say, tell you to thank the producers of this show. You know, because it really would help somebody who's listening to it, who's visually impaired, to actually visualize what's going on.
Thank you.
You know?
And that was the purpose, actually. The purpose was to exactly what you have to do all the time because of your visual impairment. We needed the rest of the community because they see and don't see. So we needed them to be able to see from the inside out, you know, to create the story. And, you know, so that's why we were really glad for the writers. I can't tell you how much hours we spent in the studio trying to get it, because, you know, you got to get the chicken, you got to get the car, you got to get the door, you got to get the sound. You have all the little things that most people don't think about. We had to make sure that they were there because we knew that we were creating, like you said, we were creating a visual that can only happen in your mind. And the sound engineer had never done anything like this, right? Okay. And so for him, it was such, Dorian, UZB, for him, he was like, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, but you can't have the car has to be coming in. It has to be moving. The chicken has to be doing.
So when all them chicken had disappeared from downtown, they were there auditioning for the roles?
Yes. Yes, because, you know, we had auditions for everything. Yes. But, you know,
I was one auditioning driving the car.
Okay.
You know, but to create it, it was we had to take all of that into consideration because it's not like when you do a movie everything's there for you to see. We had to get the whole story with all the bits and pieces because then it actually makes it more real.
Yes.
You know, and so thank you for that. That means that we accomplished our goal, guys. Ralston, Dorian, we accomplished our goal. It worked. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Just keep it up. You know,
well, my time is running out here, okay? And that's what has happened when we have these type of great conversations on things that matter and in the community. And I know the phone was not going to ring once because everybody listening, I want to know how deep they're going to go in this one here, okay? I could go a little.
They keep ringing my phone.
Oh, okay.
They need to stop.
Okay, so I got to go ahead to take a little bit more time. So what I'm going to do is we're gonna deal with this man thing, okay? Can Daddy find out?
Yeah.
So let we see how Daddy gonna act now that Daddy find out. All right, you ready? There we go.
We return to Little Beto's house. It's a changed house. I sit around the corners and right beside this boy. I am trying, but it's especially hard to speak this crime at times.
Oh, Jesus. Winston is here. What is he doing here, that crazy man?
You can't tell him, you know. I'll lock the door.
No, that will just make him madder.
Millie, I come to see my son. Millie.
Calm down before I open the door. I don't want your nonsense in here.
Just open up, okay? I don't have anything with you. I just want to see my son. I'm mad as hell you didn't let me see him last week.
Come in. He's in his room.
What the hell is wrong with him?
He's quiet, that's all.
Nah. Come here, son.
Hi, Papa.
What is going on with you? Why you so quiet? You don't want to see your father? Go, let me talk to my son by myself. Beto, please tell me what's wrong.
I can't.
What you talking about? What happened, Beto? Now, tell Daddy. I will believe anything you tell me.
Somebody touched me on my thing.
I know just who did this to you, and he dead. He dead.
Where are you taking Beto? Don't take Beto.
Milagros, I see Farah, and I'm gonna kill that man.
He tell you? He didn't tell me anything.
I see Farah, what you mean?
I'll keep him in the house, I promise. Don't take my baby. Don't take my baby.
Okay, but you're gonna see a lot more of me. And you better open the door right away when I come over. Milagros, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh God, Winston, no.
Oh God, yes.
Violence will solve nothing. Surely anger is understandable. I'm angry too for this grieving father, but this is not the way. Right now, he's thinking he'd rather be in jail, but when he thinks again, he'll realize he'd rather be free to help his son heal and get through life. The doctor has already reported to the police. The police have already taken a report. Beto needs the whole community and his family to recover.
Thank you for listening to Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
Hey folks, it's deep. Jared?
Yes, sir.
You thought it was you there acting, right?
Kind of sort of. I think my initial answer would act like he. I have to be honest. I would have probably act like that if it was my son, and with good reason. But then I would have to calm down before and think about the what would happen afterwards, But I think it's human nature. That would be the initial onset that a male individual, even a woman, might take. Because woman go get vicious too.
Okay.
And she said that in the last episode. She said, "I will kill him, and then your
Yes.
father will kill him again."
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds so Caribbean. Oh yes, see, as children we had to worry about multiple deaths at the same time.
Yeah, father will pick up whatever he.
Yes, but this is deep and important because this is a problem that for too many reasons doesn't get reported, and I got Shalene. We could keep you a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Because Beto is just one person, folks. We got other characters who have other issues and drama going on in their life, and their life is so close to being our life, for our children's life, and so I want to share that with you. So let's talk. We have a young lady here who's how should I put it? She's where she doesn't want to be. Mommy's, we involve our children in activities sometimes. And we have to be very careful because danger, there's no stereotype to where you find it.
That's true.
And very often danger is in a place where it's trusted. So let's get to meet this young lady and understand what's going on in her life.
The Women's Coalition of St. Croix presents Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed, a radio drama about child sexual abuse. It contains subject matter that may be triggering for survivors. Discretion is advised.
Today we meet Caridad Hagen. She's 16 and a pageant queen. Even when we plan activities for our children, sometimes these are the places that attract perpetrators.
Hey, it's me. How you holding up? You still got lots to do to get ready for Miss Carnival Sensation?
I was just about to call you, but my mom just texted. She coming over to pick me up for a fitted with creepy Miss Copen. Then we're going for a photo shoot. I am sick of this, man. I just wanted to stop.
You stop running for beauty queen? You can't get out of it even if you wanted to. Wait, But how you mean Miss Copen creepy?
Girl, you don't know the half of it. Talk to you later. My mother just pull up and she beeping like she crazy.
Carrie! Carrie! Get out here! I told you I was picking you up.
Come in, Mom. Relax, woman.
What did you say? My God! Why are you wearing that big t-shirt? You look like a man.
Caridad is dressed like that because she doesn't want to be seen. She's dressed like that because her mother is too consumed with only what she sees. Caridad is trying to hide, to avoid, to say, I don't like the situation that's being forced on me.
Hurry up, young lady. I've been waiting for over 15 minutes. You think you're a diva now, making people wait on you?
Afternoon, Miss Copen. Sorry I'm late.
Go on in before me. Well, it looks like I will have to take out that gown. Your butt is filling out well, round and nice. You have a little boyfriend or two?
No, Mrs. Copen.
Mrs. Copen, I can tell you are tearing down the boundaries. I can tell you don't care about this girl. You have done this before, and you think, well, here's another one.
Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
Once a victimizer crosses a small boundary, he or she will cross others. Child molesters are people who sexually assault or abuse children. They create situations where children are vulnerable and they make their moves carefully.
This is the best dress I've made in 20 years. It is made to fill out all of your curves. Some of your curves will spill out too. The judges will love it. I don't. No, you don't even start. You don't know. You are 16. It's about time you show your development. Believe me, this is what wins.
My mother.
Your mother will love it. She loves everything I do, even this new bathing suit with the Brazilian cut.
It's kind of high.
That's the point. You think anyone else is going to be so daring? Your competition is just little girls. You're a woman now. Try it on right here. You think I haven't seen girls before? Well, my peas. You put it on over your underwear? Well, okay. That's cute.
I don't like it. I'm not comfortable. What if it comes off on the wrong way? It's so tight.
Well, the judges will give you a 10.
I hate this so much.
I heard that. Let me massage those shoulders so I can help you to relax. Nice, huh?
That's my mother. She's outside.
Caridad?
Yes?
Your mother has known me for a very long time. I was her coach. No one has ever said anything negative about me. Trying to get out of the pageant is not something she will abide. I'll tell her you are just uncooperative.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Copen does not see herself as a criminal. She thinks she is shaping young women to be winners. In her mind, she is no Bill Cosby. She doesn't use drugs. She's no Sandusky. She's not lying exactly. She's no Harvey Weinstein. She is not denying anyone a job. Who she is Joy Copen, a woman and a perpetrator. She too thinks she has a right to a young person's body.
Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
Yeah, folks, this young lady knows something ain't right, feels something ain't right, and trying to find a way to rebel out of this thing.
Yep.
And here comes I know your parents, we is friends for years, and we get along, and you come with that, you know what's gonna happen? Mm-hmm. It's me and she against you. So you better check yourself.
Literally.
Okay? That's basically what she's telling the girl. So folks, very often it's where you trust. Now, it's one thing to want something for your child, but it's another thing to want something for your child to the point where you become blinded. Okay, I watch from time to, I'm forced to watch sometime dance moms, whatever it is on TV, with these dance groups.
I'll add this, Doug, not to cut you off. Trust your child. You understand? Trust the judgment of your child. Because I had an incident, and it wasn't nothing with abuse or anything like that, but my daughter was, didn't like how the teacher was talking to her. And she would, be nervous about it, going to school and stuff like that. Till I put her to sit down and asked her, I said, tell Daddy what happened. And then she came out and she told me what happened. And I went to the school, got the principal, and I confronted the teacher. And after I did that, it stopped. But then when I went to the teacher, first she said, oh, my child was lying. Right, so she tried to put it on my child. But I say, I know my daughter. If she know I don't stand for that lying kind of thing. You understand? So we nip it in the butt, and then she was like, because when she started, she was like stammering, and you could tell something was wrong. So know your child, know the signs of what's going on with your child. Believe in your child. If you don't trust what they say, investigate. Don't just put it aside like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to. And in the case with Caridad and her mom, it wasn't about Caridad at all. She didn't want to do it, so obviously it wasn't wanting what's best for her child.
Right.
That had nothing to do with her child at all. It was her being able to fulfill her dream, live out her life through her child, which is also unfair. It's very, very unfair, because then it builds resentment. And we want the best for our children, but not at the extent of losing our children. And a lot of times we do that. Like, well, you can't be this, you can't be that, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer. If they don't have that desire and that is not their skill set, why are we pushing them to fail? We're ending up with very angry and hurtful children. And then we get older and wonder why they're not coming to look after us.
Right.
That would be why. Because it all becomes a cycle. And it's deeper than we think, because we're not, a lot of times we see for the moment, we don't look at the whole picture. And it's hard to look at the whole picture when we're in the middle of the story and we don't have a lot of our own healing that's taking place. And it becomes difficult. But when are we ready? And we're hoping that we're ready now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to finish out. We have one more episode, and then we're going to get ready for the next time. I think I need to make a running appointment with you, Shalene.
Just let me know. Whenever you tell me, I'll come.
All right. Yeah. So we can. I think it's so great having you or someone that's involved with Women's Coalition and this production as we go through this, because sometimes as fathers we think we know so much, but obviously from your side of it in the production, having Jared here, I think it really played out well in terms of discussing this and getting it out to the public. So I'm gonna keep you on speed dial.
No problem. Not a problem.
Okay, so we saw this young lady, and through the last 2 episodes, as you said, it's clear that this is her mother's dream more than hers. And on top of that, her mother doesn't realize that she might be serving her up to what is nothing less than a predator in a sense. So anyhow, let's hear how the conversation continues here.
While a perpetrator like Mrs. Copen presents herself as an upstanding and outstanding member of society, her victims crumble under self-doubt, fear, and confusion. Caridad wonders about the touches, the massage, the comments about her body. The girl thinks, does Mrs. Copen think I'm gay? Caridad wonders about her own sexuality, but remembers that some celebrities said, if you have to ask if you're gay, you're probably not. Caridad knows she needs more support than her own thoughts could give her.
Carrie, it's almost time for singing lessons.
Mom, I don't feel good.
What happened? You don't look good. Come here. Let me feel your forehead. You're fine. Dramatic as usual. Get dressed.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Forget it. No, what?
Listen, I don't have all afternoon.
I was just wondering.
Yes?
Never mind.
Growing up and becoming a whole person is hard enough without dealing with sexual abuse. A positive child-parent relationship is always important, but especially in times like this.
Can you get a grip? The pageant is just in 3 weeks, and these singing lessons could lead to a scholarship, and you're...
It's about Mrs. Copen.
What about Mrs. Copen?
She's so touchy-feely. She's always trying to steal our touch. She comments about how sexy we are. Even the junior girls. What do they know about being sexy?
Don't dare tell lies like that. Her hands must have slipped.
I'm not lying.
Joy's been my coach and my friend for over 20 years. Longer than you've been alive. How dare you suggest such a vile thing about this respectable woman? I'm ashamed.
But the other girls said so too, and...
The other girls do not live in this house. And if they did, they wouldn't be allowed to disrupt things. And you wouldn't either. Get dressed.
There is no way to establish a profile of a perpetrator. They can be of any gender, marital status, social, economic background, religious affiliation, or status in society. They can look like normal people, running schools, campaigning for office, policing the street.
Well, after all of that, I feel traumatized.
Yeah.
I feel traumatized. Maybe I shouldn't have played that one before I left here today because I feel traumatized. Folks, next week, Tuesday, if I could make an appointment, we need to follow up with this so I could come and get therapy and we can move forward with this, folks, okay? But I'm going to close out with this here.
Silence Speaks, Secrets Revealed. If you or someone you know has been sexually abused, please dial 911 in an emergency or call the Women's Coalition at 340-773-9272 to find out how you can end child sexual abuse.
I hope that this has been instructive to the public and beneficial, and maybe even for someone who hasn't been able to deal with it, maybe the courage or to seek out the resources, the help, whatever, to rise above the damage that this type of an experience can have on anyone, all right? So, next week, Tuesday, I have a reservation. In the meantime, folks, make sure you do at least one random act of kindness because love's in need of love every day. Until then,